Welcome. I'm Mayor Gary Sulz, and with me today is Mike Manson, Operations Manager for the City of Revelstoke. Today, Mike and I are discussing snow removal here in Revelstoke. Mike, with the snow moving down the mountains, this is great timing for us to have this conversation. So I wanted to just get into what are the issues your team faces every year when it comes to snow removal here in Revelstoke?
Thanks, Gary. It's one of my favorite topics to talk about here, snow removal. So the biggest issue that we're facing right now, Gary, is the parking of cars on the streets. They're just impeding snow removal right now. So we're seeing a large increase in the number of vehicles on different homes throughout the community. So a lot of those vehicles are being parked on the street, and then they're just in the way, and people aren't moving them. So one of the biggest challenges we have is working around those vehicles.
Yeah. So if there's any way that we can motivate people to get their vehicles off, so you do kind of an education thing right off the hop to say, hey, we don't want you on the street, is that correct?
Yeah, so each year we put out our media blasts, stay out of the way, don't impede snow removal, don't park on the street, that kind of thing. Make sure you clear your sidewalks, that's another big one.
Right.
So we do that. Another thing that we're doing is, for the people that just don't get that message, is we do towing blitzes throughout the year. So we're going to be doing that again this year as well to try and help just motivate people to not park on the streets.
Well, I think that's a great motivator. You go out in the morning and your car's not there. You're going to know that you just helped pay for some of our snow removal.
Well, kind of, yeah.
That sort of thing. So those are good things. And then basically saying to people, if you're going to park on your own property somewhere. So
that's right. Yeah.
What's your suggestions with that?
The best thing people can do is to park either in their front yard, if they're in the downtown section, in their driveway. We do get a lot of people that have a perfectly clear driveway, and then they park on the street. Well, and we're not sure why. So that's a good one. If you have an open alley and a area in the back, that's a great place to park. So basically, if you know the snow removal route, a lot of the areas of town are plowed at the same time each day. So if they could, move to a second street or another street while the plow goes by, and then move back, that even helps. So
yeah, if you're in the downtown core and there's no room, and I know people that live in the downtown core. They know the time the plow's coming.
That's right.
Most of them in that block are going to move their cars around the block. Snowplow goes by, they move their cars back, and
that helps immensely.
And away we go. And that's kind of really what we want to do is work with us, the city, as to getting your streets plowed. If you leave your vehicle there, there's a chance that there's going to be a small windrow around it. But also now, when you move your car, there's that pile of snow that's in the roadway. And that becomes a hazard.
That's right, it does. We do try to not to block people in, but sometimes it's just, that's the only thing we can do.
Yeah. And one of my pet peeves, anyway, in the neighborhood I live, is people clearing their driveway, but they're pushing it out into the street. And that becomes a problem. I can see it, if there's a windrow and we know that the snowblower is coming. But even with that, I'm seeing, now that windrow becomes, instead of 3 feet wide, it's now 8 feet wide because people are just pushing it out.
Yeah, we do ask people to definitely keep the snow on their property. That's what they're supposed to do. In some cases, you do see that. And we don't do a whole lot with that, but when people just snow blow their entire driveway into the roadway, that definitely becomes a hazard. And we are going to be cracking down a little bit on that as well.
Well, and there is a bylaw against that.
There is.
So, we want people to be aware that we're not trying to be ignorant about that. What we're trying to do is keep people safe.
Yeah,
I've seen people come down my street when that sort of thing has happened. And all of a sudden, they're four-wheel drifting into a pile of snow they didn't expect to be there.
That's right, yeah. I mean, public safety is basically why we clear snow, so. Yeah.
And then I'll go back to your comment earlier about shoveling your walk. That definitely is a big thing. I know that we're really good here in Revelstoke. We've got the track lists, they're going out, they're doing the routes, that sort of thing. But it's incumbent upon the homeowner to make sure that sidewalk in front of their home or their business is shoveled.
That's correct.
And I know, with the renovations downtown with Mackenzie Avenue, I just have another 12 feet of sidewalk that I have to shovel, but we have to do it. And so we look at that and go, the beauty is somewhere along the line, the trackless will come and clean that up, but it's not going to happen every day. So it really is incumbent upon us to get out. If your neighbor can't get out, you've got a senior neighbor, help them.
Exactly.
Right? Get out there and help. I think those are common sense.
This sidewalk shoveling definitely helps us out. I mean, the sidewalk units are just there to move the bulk of the snow out of the way,
Right.
and they're not there to really maintain it. That's what the homeowner is supposed to be doing.
Yep, good.
Yeah.
All right, it's good to know.
Yeah.
Right. So really, how can the community help you with moving snow other than what we've already talked about? Is there anything else that they should be doing?
No, I think keeping people off the street when we are trying to plow, that's the biggest one that we face. The other one is the sidewalk maintenance. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, and just making sure that their area is kind of kept to their area.
Okay, great. And so how do you prioritize the routes for snow removal?
So priority routes are developed based on first emergency services.
Okay.
Then we look at the schools and the school bus routes, and then the community bus routes as well. We look at those. So the big ones are Victoria Road, 4th Street up to the hospital, the fire and ambulance, and police access to the main sections of town.
Good. Yeah. So that gives people just an understanding of kind of why these routes are done. It's about safety for the community as whole, and our emergency services being able to move through the community, right?
That's correct.
Okay, good. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, thanks for joining me. Snow removal is such a huge part of our winter here in Revelstoke. It's important to educate our audience and remind them of essential services your team provides to our community. Thanks as well to our audience for listening in. Be sure to take a few minutes to watch our other videos on the City Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram accounts. Thanks again, Mike. Appreciate your time.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's good.